Floating cities, the future of human civilization on water. For thousands of years, human civilization has been shaped by land. Mountains, rivers, plains, and deserts have defined where we live, how we build, and how societies grow. But today, the world is changing faster than ever before. Rising sea levels, climate change, overpopulation, and shrinking land resources are forcing humanity to rethink one fundamental question. What if the future of cities is not on land, but on water? Welcome to the world of floating cities, one of the boldest and most ambitious ideas in modern urban planning. The growing crisis of land and climate. By the year 2050, more than 70% of the world's population is expected to live in cities. At the same time, climate change is causing oceans to rise at an accelerating pace. Coastal megacities such as Tokyo, Shanghai, Mumbai, New York, Jakarta, and Bangkok face increasing risks of flooding, storm surges, and land subsidence. In some regions, entire island nations are at risk of disappearing beneath the waves. Countries like the Maldives, Kiribati, and Tuvalu are already experiencing the early stages of this crisis. As land becomes more fragile and scarce, architects, engineers, and scientists are asking a radical question: can we build cities that float instead of sinking? What is a floating city? A floating city is a permanent or semi-permanent human settlement built on water, usually oceans, seas, or large lakes. Unlike ships or oil platforms, floating cities are designed to function like real urban environments, complete with homes and apartments, schools and hospitals, offices and shopping centers, parks and green spaces, transportation systems, energy, water, and waste infrastructure. These cities are not meant to drift aimlessly. Most designs are anchored to the seabed or connected in modular systems that can expand or adapt over time. Ancient inspirations. Humans have lived on water before. Although floating cities may sound futuristic, the idea is not entirely new. Thousands of years ago, the Uros people of Lake Titicaca in South America built floating islands made of reeds. These islands supported homes, boats, and entire communities. In Venice, one of the most famous cities in the world, buildings rest on wooden piles driven deep into the seabed. Despite being built over water, Venice has survived for centuries, although today it faces serious threats from rising seas. In Southeast Asia, floating villages have existed for generations, particularly in Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand, where communities live on houses built on stilts or floating platforms. Floating cities, therefore, are not science fiction. They are an evolution of ancient human adaptation. Modern floating city concepts. 1. Oceanic City. One of the most well-known floating city projects is Oceanic City, developed in collaboration with the United Nations. Oceanics is designed as a modular city composed of hexagonal platforms, each capable of housing around 300 people. These modules can be connected together, allowing the city to grow organically. Key features include fully renewable energy, solar, wind, and wave power, zero waste systems, sustainable food production through aquaponics, protection against tsunamis and storms. Oceanics is not meant to replace existing cities, but to provide a new option for coastal regions facing climate threats. 2. Seasteading projects. The seasteading movement promotes the creation of floating communities in international waters, beyond national borders. The idea is not only architectural, but political and social. Seasteading advocates envision floating cities as laboratories for new forms of governance, economics, and social systems. While some experimental projects have faced legal and financial challenges, the concept continues to inspire innovation in floating infrastructure. Floating megastructures. Some futuristic visions imagine enormous floating megacities capable of housing tens or even hundreds of thousands of people. These designs often resemble artificial islands with skyscrapers, transit systems, and vast public spaces, all floating above the ocean. Although such megastructures remain theoretical for now, advances in materials science and marine engineering are making them increasingly feasible. Engineering challenges. Building a city on water is far more complex than building on land. Structural stability. Floating platforms must withstand powerful waves, storms and hurricanes, corrosion from salt water, long-term material fatigue. Engineers use advanced composite materials, reinforced concrete, and flexible anchoring systems to ensure stability. Energy production. Floating cities aim to be energy independent by using solar panels integrated into rooftops, offshore wind turbines, wave and tidal energy systems, fresh water supply, desalination. Plants convert seawater into drinking water powered by renewable energy. Waste management. Advanced recycling, composting, and waste-to-energy systems are essential to prevent ocean pollution. Environmental impact. One of the biggest concerns surrounding floating cities is their impact on marine ecosystems. When designed responsibly, floating cities can actually benefit the environment. Artificial reefs can form beneath platforms, marine biodiversity can increase. Pollution can be reduced compared to traditional coastal development. However, poor planning could damage fragile ecosystems, making environmental regulation crucial. Social and economic life in floating cities. Life in a floating city would be different, but not unfamiliar. Residents would live in modern apartments with ocean views. Transportation might include electric boats, autonomous ferries, and pedestrian-friendly layouts. Floating cities could become hubs for innovation and research, climate science, sustainable tourism, ocean-based agriculture. They may also offer affordable housing solutions for overcrowded coastal cities. Are floating cities the future? Floating cities are not a complete solution to global challenges, but they may be a powerful part of the answer. As climate change accelerates and traditional cities struggle to adapt, floating cities offer resilience against rising seas, flexibility and scalability, a chance to redesign urban life sustainably. What was once a dream of science fiction is now being tested in real-world projects. The question is no longer if humans can build cities on water, but when and how soon. Floating cities represent one of humanity's boldest responses to a changing planet. They challenge centuries of land-based thinking and invite us to imagine a future where cities move with the ocean instead of fighting it. In a world where water is both a threat and a resource, floating cities may become symbols of survival, innovation, and adaptation. The ocean has always shaped human history. Now it may shape our future cities as well.